Welcome to Le Podcast de Philippe. Today we'll be taking a deep dive into the world of artificial intelligence with insights from a leading figure, Yann LeCun.
Oh, yeah.
You've given us some really fascinating material, an interview from his time in Switzerland's articles, and some background on his very impressive career.
Absolutely.
So-
Fascinating figure.
We're going to extract the most insightful nuggets for you.
Yeah.
Think of us as your guides,
Okay.
helping you understand what's most important about this AI pioneer
Sure.
and his vision for the future.
Yeah.
And if you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube for more.
Absolutely.
Okay, first things first. This isn't just AI expert.
No.
Yann LeCun is a Turing Award winner,
Right.
which is like the Nobel Prize of computing.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that he's been championing deep learning since way back in the 80s, long before it became the mainstream topic that it is today.
Yeah.
Talk about a visionary.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't AI experts, can you explain what deep learning actually is?
Deep learning is essentially teaching computers to learn like humans. Instead of programming explicit rules,
Right.
we feed them massive amounts of data, and they figure out the patterns and relationships on their own.
So it's kind of like showing a child 1,000 pictures of cats.
Yeah.
And eventually they just know what a cat is.
Right.
Without you ever having to define cat.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
And LeCun's work on convolutional neural networks, or CNNs for short,
Okay.
has been revolutionary in this area.
CNNs.
They're particularly good at processing visual information like images.
That sounds pretty complex.
It is.
Can you break that down for us a little?
Imagine teaching a computer by showing it thousands of pictures.
Okay.
CNNs break down the image into features, edges, shapes, colors, and learn to recognize patterns kind of like our brains do.
Yeah.
It's like training the computer to see the building blocks of an image.
So is this the technology behind things like self-driving cars? Being able to see the road.
Exactly. CNNs are used in everything from self-driving cars and facial recognition software to medical diagnostics, where they can analyze images to detect diseases.
Wow.
It's a powerful technology with a wide range of applications.
Yeah, and LeCun has been at the forefront of this.
Yes.
From the beginning, his interview really highlights his optimism
Yeah.
about the future of AI.
Yes. And it's interesting to contrast his views with some of his peers like Geoffrey Hinton,
What?
who voiced concerns about the potential dangers of AI.
Right.
LeCun seems to have a lot of faith in humanity's ability to steer this technology in the right direction.
He does acknowledge the potential for misuse,
Yes.
but he believes in our capacity to use it for good.
Absolutely.
One thing that really struck me
Yeah.
was his comparison of AI's potential to the invention of the printing press.
That's a really thought-provoking analogy. He argues that just like the printing press democratized knowledge and led to revolutions in thought, AI has the potential to empower individuals and reshape society in profound ways.
It makes you think about the potential impact AI could have on every aspect of our lives.
Absolutely.
Speaking of impact, he also had some interesting things to say about robotics being the next frontier for AI.
Right.
Get ready for a robot revolution, right?
Well, he certainly sees robotics as a key area where AI will drive progress. It raises some interesting questions about what our future will look like as AI and robotics become increasingly intertwined.
It does make you wonder what role we'll all play in this AI-driven future.
Absolutely.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's go back to LeCun's background.
Okay.
What led him to become such a pioneer in this field?
He actually has a pretty remarkable career trajectory. He earned his PhD from a university in Paris,
Okay.
then did a postdoc at the University of Toronto with another AI pioneer, Geoffrey Hinton.
So he was learning from one of the best, even early on in his career.
Absolutely.
That must have been an incredible experience.
You can imagine the kind of intellectual energy in that environment. After that, he worked at AT&T Bell Laboratories, then became a professor at New York University,
Wow.
and eventually landed his most notable role as the director of Facebook AI research, which is now known as Meta AI.
Wow. He's held some seriously influential positions.
He has.
No wonder he's considered such a respected figure in the AI community.
Right.
But he's not just known for his work with convolutional neural networks.
No.
He also contributed significantly to the development of the backpropagation algorithm.
Right, backpropagation is a key method for training artificial neural networks. It's basically the learning mechanism that allows the network to adjust and improve based on feedback.
So it's like giving the AI feedback.
Right.
So it can refine its understanding and get better at whatever task it's trying to learn.
Exactly. And LeCun's contributions to this algorithm have had a huge impact on the field.
It's really incredible to think about how his work has shaped the development of AI
It is.
and, in turn, the world we live in today.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like he's not done innovating yet.
Definitely not. He's particularly passionate about something called self-supervised learning,
Okay.
which he believes is the key to developing AI systems that can truly understand the world like humans do.
Now that sounds fascinating. Can you tell us more about self-supervised learning and why LeCun believes it's so important?
Of course. Imagine if, instead of carefully labeling every single image for the computer to learn from,
Yeah?
we could just let it observe the world and figure things out on its own.
Okay.
That's essentially what self-supervised learning is all about.
That's really interesting. So instead of relying heavily on labeled data,
Right.
AI systems can learn from vast amounts of unlabeled data, just like humans do, through observation and interaction.
Precisely.
Mhm.
And LeCun believes this approach is crucial for creating more robust and adaptable AI systems.
That makes sense. If AI can learn by observing the world like WE do,
Right.
it has the potential to become much more sophisticated and intuitive in its understanding.
Exactly. And LeCun is a strong advocate for the importance of self-supervised learning in advancing the field.
I can see why he's so excited about it, but we'll have to dive deeper into that a bit later. First, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier about LeCun's perspective on the potential dangers of AI.
Right, that's a crucial aspect of his thinking. While he acknowledges the possibility of negative scenarios,
Hmm.
he believes that ultimately we can harness AI for good.
So he's not naive to the risks,
No.
but maintains a sense of optimism?
Right.
That's interesting considering the concerns that some of his colleagues have expressed.
It is. He believes in humanity's ability to guide the development and deployment of AI, responsibly mitigating potential risks and ensuring its benefits are shared widely.
So a balanced approach recognizing both the potential and the challenges.
Exactly. He emphasizes the importance of widespread access to AI technology and knowledge, preventing control by a select few and fostering a future where AI benefits all of humanity.
It's reassuring to know that leading figures like LeCun are thinking deeply about these issues
Absolutely.
and advocating for responsible development.
His perspective is a valuable contribution to the ongoing conversation about the ethical and societal implications of AI.
Well, I think that's a great place to pause for now. We've covered a lot of ground, from convolutional neural networks and self-supervised learning
We have.
to his career trajectory and perspective on the future of AI.
Yes, we've only just scratched the surface.
There's so much more to unpack.
There is, and we'll delve deeper into LeCun's fascinating insights in the next part of our deep dive.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Picking up where we left off, I think it's really fascinating to delve further into LeCun's idea of self-supervised learning.
Yeah.
You mentioned how it mirrors human learning,
Uh-huh.
but can you elaborate on how it actually works?
Yeah, I'm still wrapping my head around that concept.
Yeah.
It sounds like a radical shift from how AI is typically trained.
It is. Think of it like this.
Okay.
Imagine you're a child learning about the world. You don't need someone to constantly label everything for you. That's a tree, that's a car, that's a bird. You learn by observing, experimenting, and making connections.
So self-supervised learning allows AI systems to learn from the vast amounts of unlabeled data out there,
Right.
rather than relying on us to hand-feed them meticulously labeled examples.
Precisely. It's about training AI to understand the underlying structure and patterns in the world, just like we do, instead of just recognizing a cat because it was labeled as cat.
Yeah.
The AI could potentially understand the concept of cat based on its features, behavior, and relationship to other things in its environment.
Wow, that's a whole different level of understanding.
It is.
No wonder LeCun thinks this is the future of AI.
He believes it's crucial for developing AI systems that can reason, plan, and make decisions more like humans do.
But isn't that a bit of a double-edged sword? I mean, the more human-like AI becomes,
Right.
the more we have to consider the potential consequences,
Sure.
both positive and negative.
That's a valid point. And it brings us back to that key difference between LeCun and some of his peers.
Okay.
While he acknowledges the potential risks of AI, he remains optimistic that we can guide its development in a positive direction.
So he's not dismissing the concerns entirely,
No.
but he seems to have more faith in humanity's ability to use this technology for good.
Right. He's advocating for a balanced approach, recognizing both the immense potential of AI and the need for responsible development and deployment.
It's like he's saying we need to be cautious,
Yes.
but not fearful.
Yeah.
It's a fine line to walk.
It is, and it's a conversation that we as a society need to be actively engaged in.
Yeah.
LeCun is a strong advocate for democratizing AI,
Yeah.
making sure that its benefits are accessible to everyone and not just a select few.
That makes sense. If we want to guide AI in a positive direction,
Right.
we need to make sure everyone has a seat at the table.
Exactly. He believes that democratizing AI is crucial for fostering innovation, promoting fairness, and ensuring that it's used to address global challenges and benefit all of humanity.
It's a powerful vision for the future.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back to something a bit more practical.
Okay.
In his interview, LeCun had some specific advice for students interested in pursuing a career in AI.
Yes.
He stressed the importance of building a solid foundation in fundamental subjects like math and physics.
Right, and that might seem surprising to some people. You might think that becoming an AI expert is all about coding and algorithms.
Yeah.
But LeCun argues that a deep understanding of these core subjects is essential for truly innovating in the field.
It's about understanding the underlying principles of intelligence itself,
Exactly.
not just the technical tools.
He believes that a strong foundation in math and physics allows you to adapt to the rapidly evolving landscape of AI and make truly meaningful contributions.
So it's not just about learning the latest coding languages. It's about developing the critical thinking skills and problem-solving abilities that come from a solid scientific education.
Precisely. And he encourages students to focus on those fundamentals rather than getting caught up in specific technologies or tools that might become obsolete quickly.
That's great advice. It's about building a foundation for long-term success in a field that's constantly changing and evolving.
Absolutely.
And speaking of the future, we can't forget about LeCun's prediction that the next decade will be the decade of robotics.
Right, he seems pretty convinced that the intersection of AI and robotics is going to revolutionize a lot of industries. What are some of the potential applications he envisions?
Well, he sees AI-powered robots transforming everything from manufacturing and healthcare to transportation and even domestic tasks.
Interesting.
Imagine robots that can assist surgeons with complex procedures, personalize care for the elderly, or even just help you tidy up around the house.
It sounds like a future straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does. But LeCun believes that these advancements are closer than we think. He argues that AI-powered robots have the potential to significantly improve our lives and solve some of the world's biggest challenges.
It's an exciting prospect, but it also raises a lot of questions.
Yeah.
How will these advancements impact the workforce?
Yeah.
What about the ethical implications of having robots so deeply integrated into our lives?
Those are incredibly important questions. And as AI-powered robots become more prevalent, we need to have thoughtful discussions about their impact on society, both positive and negative.
I agree.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that technological advancements always come with societal implications we need to grapple with. But before we get too bogged down in those complexities, I want to circle back to LeCun's emphasis on democratizing AI.
Right. He's very passionate about making sure that AI technology and knowledge are accessible to everyone, regardless of their background or resources.
Why is that so important to him?
He believes it's essential for preventing a future where AI is controlled by a select few, exacerbating existing inequalities. He envisions a world where AI is a tool for collective progress, where its benefits are shared widely and used to address global challenges.
It's a powerful vision, and it's one that resonates with a lot of people who are concerned about the potential downsides of unchecked AI development.
Absolutely. Democratizing AI is about ensuring that its development and deployment are aligned with human values and goals.
I think that's a key takeaway from everything we've discussed about LeCun's perspective.
Yeah.
He's not just a brilliant scientist, he's also a deep thinker who's deeply concerned about the ethical and societal implications of the technology he's helping to create.
And that's what makes him such a compelling figure. He's not just pushing the boundaries of what's technically possible.
Right.
He's also engaging in a broader conversation about what kind of future we want to build with AI.
It's inspiring to see someone with his level of expertise also taking the time to think about these bigger questions and advocate for responsible AI development.
I agree. And I think his insights offer a lot of food for thought for all of us, regardless of whether we're directly involved in the field of AI or not.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground again in this segment, from self-supervised learning and the rise of robotics to the importance of democratizing AI and the ethical considerations that come with this powerful technology.
We have, and I think it's really helped to paint a more complete picture of Yann LeCun and his vision for the future.
It has,
Right.
but there's still one key aspect of his thinking that I want to explore further, his unwavering optimism about the future of AI.
Right.
even in the face of potential risks and challenges.
Right. That's something that really stands out about him.
Yeah.
So in our next and final segment, let's dive into what fuels that optimism
Okay.
and what it means for all of us as we navigate this uncharted territory of artificial intelligence.
Yeah. So we've talked about Yann LeCun's groundbreaking work, his vision for the future of AI, and even touched on some of the potential pitfalls. But one thing that really strikes me is his unwavering optimism. How does he maintain such a positive outlook
Right.
when others are sounding the alarm about the potential dangers of AI?
It's interesting, isn't it? He doesn't shy away from acknowledging the risks, but his focus remains firmly on the potential benefits and his belief in humanity's ability to steer this technology in the right direction.
In his interview, he
Yeah.
even pushes back against some of the more dystopian scenarios
Yeah.
that are often portrayed in science fiction.
He does. He argues that many of these fears are based on a misunderstanding of how AI actually works
Okay.
and a tendency to anthropomorphize these systems, attributing human-like motivations and desires to them.
So he's saying we shouldn't be so quick to project our own anxieties and fears onto these technologies.
Exactly. He emphasizes that AI systems are tools, and like any tool, they can be used for good or bad. It's up to us as the creators and users of these tools to ensure that they're developed and deployed responsibly.
It all comes back to that idea of democratizing AI,
Right.
ensuring that its development is guided by ethical considerations and that its benefits are shared widely.
Precisely, LeCun believes that by fostering open collaboration, promoting transparency, and involving diverse perspectives in the development of AI, we can mitigate the risks and maximize its potential for positive impact.
It's a powerful message. He's not just advocating for technological advancement, he's calling for a more ethical and inclusive approach to shaping the future of AI.
He is. And his optimism seems to stem from a deep belief in human ingenuity and our capacity to solve complex problems.
That's right.
He sees AI not as a threat, but as a tool that can empower us to tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges.
He talks about AI's potential to revolutionize healthcare,
Right.
accelerate scientific discovery, address climate change, and even bridge cultural divides.
It's an inspiring vision. And while it's important to be realistic about the challenges ahead, his optimism offers a much-needed counterpoint to the often alarmist rhetoric surrounding AI.
It's a reminder that we have a choice in how we shape the future of this technology. It's not predetermined. It's up to us to guide its development in a direction that benefits all of humanity.
Absolutely. And I think LeCun's insights offer a valuable roadmap for navigating this uncharted territory. His emphasis on collaboration, ethical considerations, and a focus on the greater good provides a framework for harnessing the power of AI in a way that's truly beneficial.
So after diving deep into Yann LeCun's world, what stands out to you? Is his optimism contagious, or do the potential pitfalls of AI keep you up at night?
Personally, I find his perspective incredibly refreshing. It's a reminder that while we need to be mindful of the risks, we shouldn't let fear paralyze us or stifle innovation. AI has immense potential, and it's up to us to shape its trajectory in a way that's aligned with our values and aspirations.
I agree. His insights provide a framework for responsible development, emphasizing the importance of collaboration, transparency, and a focus on the greater good.
Absolutely, and his unwavering belief in human ingenuity and our capacity to solve complex problems offers a much-needed dose of optimism in a world that often feels overwhelmed by challenges.
Well said. It's been a fascinating journey exploring the ideas of this AI pioneer.
It has, and I think his work and his vision offer a lot of food for thought for all of us as we navigate the evolving landscape of artificial intelligence.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, if you want to continue exploring the world of AI and other fascinating topics, be sure to subscribe to Le Podcast de Philippe on YouTube. We'll keep bringing you deep dives into the ideas shaping our world. Thanks for joining us.